So a few days ago, my 5-gallon nano tank actually stopped working in my bedroom. It's a top fin 5-gallon retreat tank. It's a pretty good tank for the price point, but it stopped working. It's right there. It's completely not set up anymore. And the fish that were in that tank are actually in a little 5-gallon tank, which is right over there. The fish that are in there are actually doing pretty well. The actual filter in this tank was not working for almost like 12 hours or so. And, you know, there was a heat source on here, but the fish weren't exactly looking the greatest. I don't have any video footage of this just because I was in complete panic mode and I wanted to make sure I did right by the fish. So I set up the emergency tank there and got all the fish in safe and sound. I contacted PetSmart and they said I could swap out this entire tank for a brand new one. Keep in mind, I also am very used to rebuilding filters. A lot of times, some of these little things back here, those hang in the backs, they stop working. You need to take them apart, make sure there's no sand in the make sure there's no sand in the propeller or the impeller. But this just wasn't working. I'd plug it into the wall and there was absolutely no power there. I did get it up and running for a few minutes, but it really wasn't self-sustaining and it just wasn't a really good, safe option for these fish. Now, there is no light on this tank right now, but if you do remember, there are 2 albino hoplo catfish in here, as well as this marble hoplo catfish, as well as those Scillomaxis scrocelola, aka the bandit cories. They're not actual cories, but they're sometimes referred to them as cories. I also have in here like a pea puffer and a couple of other different fish, so we're gonna go ahead and take these fish out and give them a new home. All right, guys, so we are leaving PetSmart right now. Got the tank right here. We're gonna bring it home and get it set up. All right, guys, so I got the tank right there, plus the supplies I'm gonna need to set it up. This is where the old tank was before it went bye-bye. So that tank's gonna go right back here. It's going to look extra nice. Not gonna lie, I got kind of used to having no tank in this room, but we definitely wanna set this tank back up because as much as we did get used to having no tank in here, we certainly did miss it. And we do miss having fish in our room for when we sleep. But then I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow when we set this thing up. All right, guys, so it is the next day now, and we're going to go downstairs and get some sand from the 75-gallon. I did realize I do have a little bit too much sand in this tank. We actually already did remove some of the sand from the 75 and put it into the 125 when I did do that really big switch. So we're going to go ahead and take a little bit more out so we can put it into this 5-gallon tank that we're going to be setting up. So we're going to go right ahead into filling up the tank with sand first before we fill it up with any water or things like that. I already cleaned out the tank of like all the dust and stuff, so we should be good to go in regards to that. And like I said before, I don't want this tank loaded up with sand to the top. So this tank was really like about up to here with sand before. It's about half what it is right now. Definitely gonna keep it at this size. And next up, we're gonna scape this tank. So I initially thought I was gonna do absolutely no driftwood inside this tank, but I kind of came up with a better idea. I do have a lot of driftwood left over. I have already prepared this driftwood. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in the description below of everything here about how I basically prepared this. So I did a review of this tank. If you want to go check that out, just link in the description below. Link on how to prepare driftwood. 2 links in the description below. One for everyday wood and one for larger pieces of wood. And how to prepare rocks for an aquarium. All those in links in the description below. Let's get scaping. this is a 50-watt Aquarium heater. I used this on this tank before it broke. We're gonna go ahead and use the same one. Now what you're gonna wanna do is jam this thing into the back here, and you can plug it in and get set up, and it'll actually work pretty nicely. This is definitely a different tank than the one that I had. They definitely had some updates. The filter looks a little bit different, and this heater fits back here like way better than the other one. It looks like there might be even a tiny bit more space in the back over here, which is good. Now I've already gone ahead and washed off the filter that's already came with the tank here. What I'm gonna do to have an instant cycle in this tank was I took some media out of my 75 gallon, and this is gonna have a very small bio load in it. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and add this. This is a stocking with some lava rocks, and we're gonna put it right in the back over here. Cycled fish tank. What we're gonna do now is add some of the water from the 75 gallon tank into the here. I actually never had wood as high in this tank as I do right now. I think this is gonna be really good so I don't have to disturb the substrate. Let's see how it goes when I pour this directly onto the wood. All right, guys, so the tank is now all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and plug everything in. We just have to put the top on and my Fluval COB light, and we're gonna be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all that stuff together, and I'll see you guys in like a day or two after we already have the fish in here. And by the way, the fish that we're gonna be going in here are the fish that are in my 5 gallon tank that's downstairs. I kind of put them in there as a rescue system. So we're just gonna go ahead and plug this bad boy in. So guys, this is that tank right there. Super excited about the way that it did come out. Think it definitely came out much better than the old tank that was there. And also the fish are really enjoying it. I know I am, and they are too, so hopefully we all are. Some of the other fish that were in that 5 gallon are still in there. They're kind of going to be growing out to ultimately go into some of my other tanks that are in my fish room. If you do like the way I set up this tank, or if you do have this tank, be sure to drop a comment in the comment section below. If you did like this video, be sure to subscribe, ding that notification bell, check out some of the other content here on my channel, and most importantly, don't forget to fish on.